Guys, it's Lost in Plot, and today we've tortured ourselves with Episode 1, Season 4 of Westworld.
Westworld is back. It's Season 4 on HBO MAX. We're in the 4th season. What the hell is still going on in Westworld? What are we even doing anymore?
It's incomprehensible.
All right, well, let's start at the beginning here, because if you followed the first season of Westworld that came out way back in...
It used to be about fucking cowboys.
It did used to be about fucking cowboys. Not anymore. That was 2016, though, if I remember right. And that first season, I personally really enjoyed. The first season of Westworld, I'd give probably an 8 out of 10.
It was a great
Anthony
finale.
Hopkins and Ed Harris, I thought it was really interesting and compelling and smart sci-fi. Mm-hmm. We're in a different place now. We're in a very different place. So the setup is, this is based on the film that was written and directed by Michael Crichton in the 1970s. And the pitch really is, you've got an adult theme park set in the Wild West, and you can go there and indulge any of the pleasures that you want.
We are so far from that premise right now. It is
that's where we have to start.
Unrecognizable. That's not where we start in Season 4. It is unrecognizable.
Yeah, we're well beyond that, but I mean, that's the setup. So it's not too... I mean, this is the same guy that wrote Jurassic Park, right? So the setup's very similar in that regard. Now, you know, just like in Jurassic Park, that something's going to go wrong with all of these cowboy robots that populate the park eventually, and it's going to be bad for all of the guests there. Like, we know that's coming. That's our expectation as the audience. We know that's coming. The problem is, then what? Then what?
Yeah.
Once the dinosaurs break loose, once the robots start killing everyone, then what? So the arcs of the seasons of Westworld, the first one was really good. The second season was horrendous. I mean, I'd give the first season an 8. The second one's down to a 2. The third one was just a total mess, and they're kind of reinventing the premise every time they come back for a new season. So what could you even make out of the premise for Season 4 and what we're doing? We're well into the future.
You can't make anything. It is a confused, jumbled mess that it bears no resemblance to the original season and the original premise that spawned.
The original premise. It's exactly it. It's not the same story. No. Westworld, since they left the park, has been a lot of plot, I think, and not a whole lot of story. And what I mean by that is there's been a lot of things that happen, a lot of big ideas, but they're so disconnected and disjointed, and you are no longer caring about the character arcs because they've all been resolved for the most part after the first season. So it's a question that you always have as a viewer. Is just like, why is this character still here again? What are they doing? The funny thing was, Jonathan Nolan, who's the brother of Christopher Nolan and has been a writer and one of the creators of this series, he was doing an interview with his wife, Lisa Joy, who's also a writer on this series, about this episode, and they were talking about one character, and he called the character its old name, like the name of the character in the original season, and then his wife has to correct him. It's like, oh no, it's not really them. They're in another body or doing something else like this. And it's just indicative that it shows you that these are the people that created it. He can't even name the characters right because they've twisted things around so bizarrely at this point, and now that someone's a duplicate of somebody else and they put their brain into somebody else, so that's really them, but they look like another character from an earlier season, and you're supposed to care when some of the original characters show up. And that is Westworld. That's where we're at now. It's like, I don't know why it's still going.
And this pilot episode is talky and boring as all hell and
incredibly
plotting.
Boring.
This whoever wrote this lacks any knowledge of what an inciting incident is to get any story momentum at any point in this entire show. And there's even sequences where, all right, there's a team of hitmen and they're firing off their machine guns, and it's like, it's as boring as it can possibly be. There's no stakes. You don't care for anybody who's involved in the entire mayhem. It's just like, this is the weakest possible attempt to try and push things down the road, and it's an utter failure. And even the teaser opening bit, you know, it's just
at Hoover Dam, I think.
Yeah, and Ed Harris is in it, and we've got something about buzzing flies. It fails to land. There's no semblance of an idea. There's no defined conflict that an audience can understand, grasp, and actually care about. It's just a bunch of it's finger paints.
I think there's lots of ideas, but not a story
There's no
connecting them.
clearly communicated idea in the entire show. There's random notions that kind of serve up and don't fully germinate and form a concrete idea that serves as a foundation to push a story and a premise. It's just it's fractured. It's totally incomprehensible. It's shit.
It's shit. So there we go. We don't think there's much of a reason for Westworld Season 4. There wasn't much of a reason for Westworld Season 3 either. Now, Season 2, there was a reason for. It's just the execution of that was just pathetically awful. I don't know what happened with Season 2, but it was terrible. And I actually stopped watching. I stopped watching. I think it was the second episode in Season 2 where I stopped watching. And then it was like a year or months later, I was bored and I came back.
When you're watching a show called Westworld,
yeah,
and you have to stop and ask, where the hell did all the cowboys go?
Where's the park? We're not in the park anymore.
You've lost it. You've lost it. You've totally lost it.
Yeah, we need to go back to that park. The park was where all the ideas were. It's what hooked me.
Where are the goddamn cowboys? Where are they?
Cowboy robots are missing.
Thandie Newton runs around with a samurai blade.
Yeah. It doesn't have to make sense. That's where we're at.
Yes,
if you're a fan of Westworld, then probably you're just continuing on. If you're someone that watched the first season of Westworld or has not watched Westworld at all, I'd still recommend that first season, but
yeah,
go no further. No further than that. So this first episode for you.
It's garbage. It's hot garbage. It's a 2 out of 10. It's dead. It's not coming back to life. You can't inject any semblance of life into this show. Forget it.
Fair enough. The thing that I'll say slightly in its defense is technically Westworld always looks amazing. Like there's a great budget here. All the production design looks fantastic. The sound and the music is always fantastic. It's top-notch stuff here, but that's all just window dressing.
It's fantastic, isn't it? It's like looking at a turd in high definition with perfect lighting. Oh my god, look how amazing that pile of shit is. Unbelievable.
Don't forget the good music that goes with it too.
Oh yeah.
But story-wise and character-wise, there's nothing here that really interested me anymore. So I have this down at a 3 out of 10. It is dead for me as well. Westworld Season 4. Hopefully this is the last one.
Guys, that's a word on Westworld. I apologize if I've stepped on your toes and you actually like this show. Please explain to me why you do in the comments section down below so I can better understand. Like and subscribe. Check us out on Twitter, and we'll see you all on the next one.